So here's the prophetic word that is titled Lights, Camera, Action, October the 14th, 2024. There will be an armed military conflict in the United States. A war, a conflict, a burning up of U.S. counties and states in an all-out war between the government and its citizens. This war is coming soon as a thing that will break out because of rising tensions between the people of America and their government. Long has it been where people out of sync with their government have stood up for their freedoms against a tyrannical government. But few are the times where the people succeed in removing the government. In fact, with increases in the might of leaders in terms of their technology, soldiers, military power, and ability to control important areas of a nation like food, transport, electricity, water, and even hospitals and aviation, power is securely with leaders of the modern world unless a distinct and convinced force comes against them to upend them from their place. The United States government is planning a coup of power soon, something to entrench them in a way that when it's time for power to roll over to the next bidder, it will not do so. It will seem stuck in place. It will be hard for it to do so. The die is cast, America. The players are set. The leading lady is in position. Lights, camera, action, America. You're on stage now, playing the role of your life. You are a loser, but you do not know it. Defeat is your portion, but you are not aware. Even at the polls where you think you have so much power, you think you have freedom, you're as deceived as it gets. You think you have leeway, don't you? You think you have leverage. You think you still have options, more than a few moves left. Hear the word of the Lord. You have nothing of the sort. You're a rat in a trap. You're drowning. You're a slave in chains, a captive on a timer. Soon the bomb will go off. Boom. Explosive changes. New world order. A female White House, a nation celebrating, but right behind it, waiting in the wings, out of sight, a grief, a loss. America, you will wail because of my judgments to you, because of all that I will do for your sin. Hear the Lord. I have not yet begun. I have not even started yet. This is the word of the Lord. And so this prophecy, just looking at the title that the Lord gave, Light, Camera, Action. Lights, Camera, Action. Everybody knows that this is the cue for a Hollywood production to kick off. When they say, all right, actors in place, everybody's ready, on your mark, cameras, lights, camera, action. That's when the scene starts rolling. That's when you can see a woman going, Jeffrey, how could you do this to me? And he's like, I've had enough. Nobody's actually feeling the emotions that they show you in a scene. Nobody's actually the people that they show you in a scene. There's no involvement. The man who the woman calls Jeffrey is not called Jeffrey. And Jeffrey hasn't had enough of anything because as soon as he's done making this movie, Jeffrey might go home to his real partner and his real life. Lights, camera, action is a kickoff phrase to say everything's in place. We've checked all the marks. We've checked all the players. We've checked everything that's required. We are now ready to go live. Lights, camera, action even happens for TV shows. Lights, camera, action happens for the news. They tell them counting down. And they start. Lights, camera, action is just a well-known, well-understood American phrase to say, we're going from a time of rest. We're going from a time of pause. We're going from a time where we were all in the huddle and deciding, how do we want to do this? This is the scene where we're going to portray this. This is the 11 o'clock news. It's 10:58, we're about to go live. Lights, camera, action means we're going from a resting phase into an active phase. And God is telling the United States of America that even though this year has been pretty tumultuous, you've been seeing the kinds of natural disasters that we've been having. We've been having those things since the beginning of the year. We've had, I think, a chemical spill this year that took place, that big chemical spill that took place. I don't know how those people are doing. We've had the aurora prophecies that fulfilled earlier in the year, a few months ago, and the aurora prophecies have fulfilled again. And I'm here to remind you, because this is as good a place to do it as any, that when you see the auroras keep coming back, remember that the original first aurora prophecy stated that the aurora will be a sign that we are moving into a time where we will what? We will begin to experience extreme and open and visible interaction with the fallen ones, fallen beings, UFOs, aliens, Nephilim creatures. And now we can see that just recently, I think it was just on the 13th, a day or two ago, there's this huge commotion going on in DC. But people saw it even as far away as North Carolina. People were reporting at different parts of the country what looked like crashes from the sky. Massive police response, lots of police on the ground, people recording them, people uploading this stuff at about 2 or 3 a.m. And even I saw quite a few videos with people saying, did anyone else see what was in the sky? People are starting to see a lot of light formations in the sky and things like that. And I have always told you here, since God kind of nudged me by force into those prophecies in 2021, telling me they need to know, tell them. I have always told you that as we go into the end times, these creatures will become quite bold, and they're not waiting for the government to show them, because the government is dragging its feet and it doesn't want to confess that they are aliens, that they've been dealing with these aliens since the 40s and things like that. And so I said that the creatures will become quite bold and they will start showing themselves. And God says that the time when we should be aware that our lives will contain more and more and more of them is when we start to see auroras. So the Master's Voice prophecies are coming to a very nice and neat convergent point, exactly as I told you. And you're not hearing them from me, you're seeing them on the news for yourself. Lights, camera, action means that we're going from a resting phase into an active phase.